And now let's talk about the emerging services, so like future services, like the exciting things that may come or that are still very incipient, that they have been demonstrated, but they're not widespread. So, like in the 5G context, a lot of people talked about remote surgery, and there is still a long way to go until this can really happen. But it has been demonstrated that it's at least possible with 5G if you have the proper infrastructure. So that would be basically having the surgeon on a different location than the patient. Well, if supported by wireless, I think the best use case for that would be in a case where actually there is no time to transport the patient to the hospital. Of course, if you can make a planned surgery, there would be no sense of making that via wireless. But if you are in an emergency situation where there is basically no time and there is need for an intervention, then maybe this could be an application in the future that you save a life that would be otherwise lost because there is no time to come back with the patient to the hospital. But this is extremely challenging. It must not fail. So, like, if anything's on a remote surgery depends on the connectivity, then the connectivity cannot fail. And that's why also this remote surgery use case was so widely studied, to be able to design a network which can get the most demanding use cases and still be able to deliver it. 5G on reality, on real deployments, is still not there. So this is what was called in the first part with a URLLC, ultra reliable low latency applications, which needs to have a lot of reliability and very low latency at the same time and cannot fail. And of those, remote surgery would be a clear, very demanding case. But we can still get there. So like 5G was designed so that this should be possible. What is there out there in the market today, it is still not delivering something like that. And it's very clear then that we need very low latency and a lot of reliability. The next one, and this is really starting and it's starting to take off, it's a global satellite-based connectivity. And the name of that within 3GPP is NTN, non-terrestrial networks. And this is really starting to take some momentum in 2025 because it's bringing technological convergence and it's also enabling to have coverage in places you did not have before. So like in remote regions, it's so much easier to have coverage with satellite than actually deploying a typical cellular network over a large area or over the oceans, for example. Then we need really to use satellite-based connectivity. But what we had before was like dedicated systems which used proprietary satellite connectivity, and now we are moving that you can use the same phones to connect via satellite, and that's NTNs, a global satellite-based connectivity using the cellular technology, using 5G or 4G. And this can really enhance the service continuity over very large areas. Right? A third one, which is already has some uses but could grow in the future, is the use of drones or UAV, so the uncrewed aerial vehicles. So, like, where is that already used today? For example, to monitor dangerous infrastructure, instead of having someone getting there with a helicopter and that person is in danger, it's much better to send a drone, and if something happens, it's only to the drone, not to the pilot or a passenger of a helicopter. You could use that for logistics. So, of course, for example, if you have traffic jams and you could deliver something with a drone, then you would not be affected by such traffic jam. And where then the connectivity is used, like you need the communication um, to have the control of the drone, and you need also communication to help navigation. So this is also something that may grow in the future and may be supported by cellular networks.